Alright everybody, for our next video, we're back in Shotcut, and I just made a video called City Attorney Disqualifies Us Due to Lack of Experience, Evidence of Her Being Biased, Not Allowing Experience, right? So, one of her arguments was that during the course of our hour-long phone call, I just started trimming it down, I've got it down to about 1 minute and 47 seconds. I've only used 4 examples. I'll show you the list that I've got. I'll put that up so that way you can see. This is just part of the list that I'm working on. Very basically, these are all the times where I was trying to explain my relevance, my this, my that, because it's pertinent. I need to be able to explain how I can show the public, how I can share this knowledge with the public and make them understand it, right? So when I go and I share my job experience, my relevant job experience, and the city attorney disallows it, she doesn't include any of that in her decision. She blatantly hides all of that and, then denies us because of that. That's her being biased. That's her being prejudiced. That's her showing that she's only taking the best interests of her clients, which are the City of Lewiston Police Department and City of Lewiston just in general, and that she doesn't have to care about the rights of the individual and the rights of the citizens who pay her taxes and pay for her to, right? Like, does that make sense? So again, she stated multiple times she does not have to follow Idaho state code, or she doesn't have to follow federal law. She only has to follow Idaho state code, right? So in her denial letter, which you're about to see, she stated very basically that, right, lacked experience, couldn't explain it in a way that was relevant, right? Like all these things she said. So that's why I'm rebuttaling all of that. So the next clip that you're going to see, it's going to be about 1 minute 47 seconds of her denying us our rights and denying us here's my relevant experience. Here's some of my relevant experience. Here's just a few examples, right? Again, it's an hour-long phone call, and I might not have caught everything. I think I have at least 6 or 7 examples written down on paper so far, and I have only given you either 3 or 4 of them. So thank you for watching. If you have not done so, please go and hit the subscribe button so that way you can be aware when all of these other videos go live. Because again, if you are residing in the area of Idaho, Washington State, Montana, or Canada, all of these videos are relevant to you because the companies around here and the local government and local officials, local police, they're all in on it. So if you've ever gone to them and tried to seek help, if you've ever gone to them to try and complain about a crime that was committed against you and they denied you, if you ever went to the city attorney to try and seek help and file a complaint, right, like, and they denied you, all of this is completely 100% relevant to you. So I'm going to keep this as a short. Again, next video is 100% going to be city attorney denied me my rights, denied this, denied that, and then here's her denial letter, and it's all illegal. So go watch that. Click the link below. This is going to be my intro for that video, so I apologize if you see it again. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, welcome. My name is Daddy, and I'm learning how to law. This is my channel where I basically help you to understand the basic universal human rights that exist out there that are available to you and to everyone around, but very specifically the ones that apply to you and to me, so that ways you can protect yourself while you're out and about, right? So very basically, some stuff happened with me and my wife while we were visiting. We went on holiday and we are not in our hometown or our home state, and some crimes were committed against us. Come to find out, the local police, the local government officials, they're all corrupt and they don't want to help, and these videos are going to expose all of that. So the reason I'm also putting these videos out, as you can see in the video I'm about to show you real quick, that is not my video, it is someone else. The police will blatantly lie and violate your rights, and they will break into your house to get whatever they want, and then they will leave you with a ton of emotional distress. And yeah, so I'm going to show you that before I show you my video. Again, this is my video where the city of actually, here, let me show you my stuff first, and then the very ending will be that video showing why it's so important that you take care of yourself and your rights, and that you make sure that you cover all of your bases, because police are corrupt, government officials are corrupt. They will lie, cheat, and steal to come get whatever they want and to violate your rights, okay? So this what you're about to see is another 1 minute and 47 seconds of the city attorney denying me my job experience and this and that, and then taking that and using that in her denial letter, okay, which I'm going to show you now, okay? So this is where she denied us, and then the following clip is her not letting me explain just part of my job experience, because these are just a couple of examples. I have a lot more, which I'll show you the picture after. But yeah, so thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe for more, share with anyone who you know who just you think could learn a little bit more about the law, because again, all of these rights, they belong to everybody, and if you're going to have your rights violated, you need to know how to protect yourself. So thank you for watching. Here the first set of clips is going to be the I'm going to show you the picture or the document where she denied us, and then I'm going to show you the little notes that I've taken just of this right here to show you that there's more than just the examples I'm going to show you, and then the montage. It's a little just minute or two montage, and then I'm going to give you more of my relevant job experience. So again, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Alright, so I wanted to show you, this is, or wait, where's it at? Sorry, this is the stuff she sent me. All PDF reader, come on, hurry. Oh my god, so many ads just to get into the PDF. I did not realize that they changed this. So, City of Lewiston Attorney's Office sent this to us, stated very specifically that, again, we did not contribute significantly to the public's understanding of the operations or activities of the government. She basically states, where is it? Let me turn it sideways so you all can read. Okay, I can't actually. Okay, so right here. She states that all the information I've provided thus far is conclusory statements rather than clearly showing that the request meets the statutory criteria. She states that I have not demonstrated either the ability or intent to effectively disseminate the information to a broad public audience. So basically, I can't explain or describe it to you in a way that you all will understand. I did mention a plan to create videos to help educate people on how to respond in certain situations. However, it remains unclear how these particular videos would enhance the public's understanding, especially given your statement that you already possess video recordings of each of the incidents on your personal devices. Again, so when I ask for your information so that way I can verify what I have against mine, right? Because again, I have the legal right, and you're stating that you have videos, use those, right? I'm not going to give you anything because my evidence is going to incriminate my people, right, that I represent, right? You can't do that. Okay? And then again, moreover, it appears from the substance of your request that the information sought is primarily of personal interest, right? So again, you're going to use it for your personal gain, and you're not going to help the public, right? So again, when I go and I explain to you people that this is all happening to me, right? I caught it, and you should all be aware that this is happening to you and has been happening. Again, the documents I have show that this has been going on since at least 2016. That's the company's document, not my document, not the police department's document, not the city attorney's document. That's the company's very specific document. That's theirs. States that this has been going on since 2016. And then in their terms of use, their privacy policy, their photography policy, they specifically list these 4 agencies, the police, the public officials, government officials, and other, right? They list you as accomplices, that you all know that they build a profile and you buy and sell, you buy this profile from them, and then they share it with you, right? And you get all of this illegally obtained information from us, right? Which is a huge privacy rights violation. So again, like either way you look at it, everyone involved in the law enforcement here in Idaho, both at the city and the state level, you in the sheriff's office, you in the city mayor's office, you in the city attorney's office, right? Like all of you, I just named the agency that you worked for, right? In the company document, all of you are guilty. So when you purposely go out of your way to hide all of the information that I've requested because it's going to paint the people you represent in a bad light, that's not my fault. I have the legal right to this. I have the federal right to this. You cannot supersede federal right because you think state law goes above federal law. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so every time you tell me that you're not going to do something because state law says I don't have to, you're violating 18 U.S. Code 241 and 18 U.S. Code 242, conspiracy against rights, and basically you're depriving us our rights under the color of law. So thank you very much. Here is the minute 47-second clip. Again, I just took either 3 or 4 examples of her interrupting me and not letting me get my job relevance in here because she stated that I didn't know what I was talking about and there's no way that I could possibly, right? So again, all of this is completely relevant. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. I gotta put this video together, so here's that next part for you, okay? Thank you. Like my mom before she died, she used to do this. I could go to her, no problem, right? Like I used to help her with this stuff. I don't remember all the steps involved. That's why I'm just trying to seek a little bit of help, right? So just like now, you guys are gonna find out about my wife's background when this goes to court. You're gonna find out about all the businesses we worked for, right? Like banks and shit. Like we know what we're talking about. When we reach out for help, like I said, my mom used to do this for 20 plus years. I helped her for 15 years of that. Like, I know what I'm talking about. So when I'm asking you people for help and you are denying us our rights, I am pissed. I'm just going to use an example. Because me and my wife, we also used to sell insurance as well. There's, let's say, 10 different policies you can go and sign up for. Saying another thing. That's why I'm upset.
We can't control how Google runs Google search.
Yeah, you sure can. You literally pay them a fee to go and put this information or that information on there. And then if you want to alter that, you pay them another fee because they have to go through, pay someone to fix it. That is exact, ma'am. I used to work, oh my God, I used to work for a telecommunications company. You can't go on our...
Either way, I think we're getting pretty far off the topic of how...
I promise you, the friggin' banks that I had to work for, if I ever spoke to a customer like that, whether I was in the cashier level, manager level, legal department level, right? Like, it doesn't matter what department I was in. If I ever spoke to a customer, if I ever interrupted a customer who is visibly upset, and for good reason, I would immediately lose my job. It did not matter what part of the company I worked for. I would be given my walking papers. They literally had quality listening to every single phone call. I would not have made it 30 minutes after that phone call when I would have gotten a tap on the shoulder and I would have been escorted out. All right, so just real quick, brief explanation about my work history. Okay, so for the last 24 years, I've been working to try and, bring food in one way or another, okay? Over the course of those 24 years, right, I'll explain it like this. Very unfortunately, my family has been plagued by a whole bunch of legal issues from the time I was very, very young, okay? Now, whether that was stuff involving my grandparents, stuff involving my aunts, my uncles, right? Stuff involving myself, my mom, my biological sperm donor, right? Like, right, there's a lot of stuff going on there, okay? And then there's a lot of stuff after my biological sperm donor was no longer in the picture as well. So there's a ton of stuff, okay? Very basically, my mother was a paralegal for roughly 20 years. A lot of that she had to do because A, she couldn't afford it, and then B, she came across an attorney who stated that I will represent you. I know you can't afford to do the work on your own, so I will trade you your time and your work. I'll pay you a fee for your time and your efforts as a paralegal. You work for me, and then I will help you with your cases. I will basically charge you a slightly smaller fee than what I would charge other people, and basically it's a win-win for you because you get legal representation and you get cheaper legal help, and then I get some help with this mountain of paperwork that I need taken care of, right? So it was a win-win for her. It was a win-win for my mom. The nice thing is I would get to occasionally go and help and basically be privileged to all the stuff that was going on. That lady was very nice. Her office was right above Taco Bell over by Palmer High School. You know exactly who I'm talking about if you're seeing this. Thank you, lady. I keep wanting to call you Maria. I don't remember what your name is specifically. But again, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Like I said, for like 20 years, or at least 15-ish of those years, you helped my mom a lot. So thank you. But again, for about 20 years, my mom was a paralegal. And for roughly 15 of those years, I would help her, right? So if she was typing up stuff and she needed definition or something explained, I would have to do that for her, right? If she needed like a thesaurus, like I'm using this word too much, what's a different word, right? I'm going to be the one to help you, right? While she's sitting there typing up a whole bunch of stuff, she needs something looked up specifically in case law or right, she needs something pulled, I would go and I would pull that for her and out, right? Like I would help her for roughly about 15 years of those 20 years, right? I would help her in one way or another, right? Like I wasn't doing the work for her. I was merely just helping her, right? So just very, very brief example. If you can imagine her slaving away for a week to try and put together court cases for herself because she has court in another week, right? So for an entire week, she sits and gets 30 different documents together. Here's all kinds of stuff, right? She types it out all pretty. She goes and gets everything ready, right? She's getting ready to go and talk to an attorney. And then she goes, and while she's transferring it, something happens and all 30 files just completely deleted, right? Gone. They do not exist. No matter how hard we try and pull them back up, they're gone. They're wiped. So she's in a state of panic, right? Rather than have her panic, right, she goes and she types up as much as she can, right? And then when she's tired, she can't do anymore, I go and I sit there and I type up as much as she can, right? When she wakes up, she proofreads everything that I've typed so far, and while she's doing that, I'm typing other stuff, right? Like, we're working as a team trying to get everything ready so that way, again, she can meet her deadlines and she can get everything turned in and she can have the attorney, right? So when I go and I talk about legal things, it's because I know from helping her for all those years, right? I know at least a little bit more than the general public, right? I may not have a degree in anything, but again, I at least know what I'm talking about. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, I know the resources that are available, and I know judges, and I know court cases, and I know laws and statutes and acts. I can pull up the relevant information. I can source it. I can tell you exactly where it says this on what page, on what, right? I can tell you all of that, right? Okay, that's that. Now, aside from that, I've worked for two separate banks, right? I met my wife at one. We worked together for about a year before they had to close the production floor because of a lawsuit that did not pertain to us. It was other stuff completely unrelated to us. But the bank that we worked for, they're like, too much of a liability. You all got to go. Sorry, right? So that was the first bank we worked for. That was Barclays Bank. When we worked for them, they were number 7 in the world. Okay, so they were a big deal at the time, and we were both on their concierge team. We handled their black cards, their diamond cards. We handled all of their really high-end clientele, all of their all of their expensive stuff, like multi-million-dollar accounts. Like that's what we were in charge of. Okay, very, very cool experience, right? But again, because of that, we were trained in identity theft. We were trained in fraud. Right, like we were given a lot of training so that we could recognize it and we could essentially prevent our clients' money being stolen, our clients' information being stolen. We could prevent a whole lot of stuff. Okay, that's the relevant training that we got. Lots and lots of legal training, lots and lots of stuff pertaining to fraud, lots and lots of stuff pertaining to identity theft. Okay, so that's the first bank. Okay, second bank I worked for was a military bank, USAA. Basically, because I made a promise to my grandfather when he was dying that I would not join the military for various reasons, right? Next best step, figured that I would serve those who serve us, right? I went and worked for USAA for roughly about a year. The reason that I stopped is because I couldn't make the trek across town because somebody slashed my tires, and I physically could not make that trek. It was already quite the expense in terms of gas. But again, like, tires were slashed, and it wasn't just me. It was multiple cars in the neighborhood issue. But again, just because Colorado at the time was getting bad, we basically wanted to move from the area. So I saw it as a sign. It's time to go. So we left. But again, based off of my year with them, tons of law, tons of contracts, again, tons of identity theft and fraud training, right? Identity theft and fraud prevention, right? We're trained in that. Just because you people, and when I say you people, you attorneys and you police officers and whoever else we spoke to, and you all violated our rights over the course of the last few months, right? Just because you may not have had the training that we have, and just because you may not understand the things that we're bringing to, even though I state very specifically this is Idaho state law, and this is federal law, and both of these say that you need to protect us because of this right and this reason, and what, right? Like, you can't go and claim ignorance. You can't say I didn't know, because, well, yes, you did. I told you multiple times and in multiple ways and in multiple instances. Okay, so again, that's the second bank that I worked for. Okay, so aside from just that financial knowledge and contracts and laws and all of that, right, like, basically, like I said, like, that's 2 years just for me. I don't know how many other years of relevant banking experience my wife has, but we've both worked in the medical field, right? She has training with HIPAA and contracts and stuff like that. I specifically have a degree in the medical field. I specifically have worked in the medical field for about a year at a plasma center, and then another 7 years with my grandparents who were both dying, right? So I helped take care of them. Me and my aunt were the primary caretakers at the time. My mom would help, but because she had kids, my aunt didn't, and because my aunt has relevant medical background and I have relevant medical background, like we were the primary caretakers, right? So again, lots of laws, lots of legal stuff we had to learn in regards to that. Okay, so again, when I go and I claim I have knowledge of this for this and this reason, right? Like again, it's pertinent, it's relevant. Okay, so again, that's many years of legal law and legal jargon and mumbo jumbo that I had to deal with. Okay, so again, that's again relevant to this because she stated in the email that I just showed you that I didn't know what I was talking about, and there's no way you would all understand. Okay, so there's that. Then so that's legal, and that's or no, I'm sorry, that's financial, that's legal, and then that's medical background. All of that is legally backed, right? Because again, we have to get trained because you have to act within your scope. If, and I've explained this to multiple people, the city attorney was one of them, right? If I was a police officer, I could not go and put on firefighter gear and try and act as a firefighter, right? Because I'm not trained in that capacity. I don't have those certifications. I don't have the qualifications. I can't do that, right? If I, a plain regular person, wanted to go and be a police officer, I can't go and go up to the Sergeant Michael Top. I say that because the way that you acted, I cannot in full faith believe that you are in fact a sergeant, and you have been you've been in the police department for multiple years. And you, Captain Reese, same deal. You're a captain and you treat people that way. Like that's no, right? I guess 2-year officer of the force, badge 514, Johnny Raymond, he's only been on the force for 2 years, but he's still trained by people and taught how to violate people's rights. So, I guess I can't blame him as much, except, I can still blame the people he trained, and I can blame him for violating our rights. But again, I'm sidetracking. So, relevant information, okay? At least 15 years or so just with law, legal, like backing. Again, no actual law school, but I have plenty of relevant information, and I can prove what I'm saying. And then there's the 2 years or so of relevant financial law and training and fraud and identity theft prevention and investigations, stuff like that, relevant training. And then the telecommunication, that's the one I'm forgetting, because I explained 3 of the other ones, but in the clip you saw how she denied me when I was telling her that I worked for a telecommunications company, right? So when I explained to you that the metadata that you give to Google, right, you are 100% relevant for that, because basically, if I was a new business and I called Google and I said, hey, tell everybody that I do this, and this, right? They're going to tell everybody that I do this, and this. They're going to put exactly what I put on there. So if I put that I am a lawyer and I only handle criminal cases where you have been charged of something and you need a criminal defense attorney, that's what I'm going to do. I don't handle any other law aside from that, right? Now, if I go and I tell Google to put on there that I do not just the criminal defense, but I do civil, I do identity theft, I do fraud prevention, I do commercial mitigation, I do, right? Like there's literally hundreds of different types of legal stuff that you can do. You could literally just do contracts for old people, right? Like a trust, right? Like do stuff with beneficiaries. There's a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like just with old people that you could do, and you never have to do anything criminal. You never have to ever step foot in a setting where you're going to be getting your blood pressure elevated for any whatever reason because someone else's life is on the line. Like no, at worst thing that's going to happen is someone pays you a small fee and you have to go and file some papers and then make sure that it gets stamped in the proper place. That's as stressful as it is for you if you work with old people, right? Like, so I'll be right back. I gotta go grab something from my car. Sorry. Never mind. Susie already grabbed it. So again, when I go and I tell you that I work for a telecommunications company and I try and give you relevant information and you verbatim go and tell me, oh, okay, no, that's not important. We're gonna go ahead and skip over that. It's not relevant and blah blah blah, right? Like, and then you deny me. You can't do that. You cannot go and keep me on the phone for an hour, gather all this evidence, and then state that none of it happened over the course of our phone call and not include that in the letter or in your very biased and prejudiced judgment, right? Because again, you don't have to keep our best interest at heart. It's just the City of Lewiston Attorney's Office and the City of Lewiston Police and the City of Lewiston in general, right? Like, okay, you don't have to care about us, the people who pay your taxes and pay for you to have your job and pay for you to do this and that, right? Like, so again, this is just me complaining that I have many, many, many years in call centers and telecommunications to go along with the many, many, many years of legal backing, to go along with the many, many, many years of financial backing and legal backing to go with that, and then the many, many, many years um, of medical stuff. So again, like HIPAA and contracts and all those, and then I have at least 7 years of cooking. So if you want to go and you want to throw in relevant cooking laws and statutes and this and that, then cool, because OSHA will close you down and fine you in a heartbeat for any number of reasons. So you have to be up to code and up to date on all your relevant things. So, fun fact. We take care of our business over here. It's the city of Lewiston and the state of Idaho who are highly corrupt, and I can prove all of that. So if you have made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, specifically to my 11 subscribers so far. So if you have not done so, right, like the other 19 of you who like to come back and watch, but you don't do anything but just watch, thank you as well, right? So between you and my 11 subscribers, that makes 30 people who are actively coming back and actively watching my stuff, and that makes me very happy because that means that at least somebody out there is learning something. So that's what the point of this channel is for. If anything like this has happened to you in the city of Lewiston, Idaho, or the state of Idaho, or the state of Montana, or the state of Washington State, or even into Canada, because this commercial business does operate in Canada as well, then this is all highly relevant to you. If you are traveling anywhere in the United States to any one of the areas that I just mentioned, this is highly relevant to you because they don't feel the need to follow federal law. They feel that they only have to follow Idaho State Code. And Idaho State Code, well, they don't even have to follow that at times because I've given them 30 codes and they refuse to act on even one of them. So, fun fact. Your rights are probably being denied and you're violated if you live in the city of Idaho, or if you live in the city of Lewiston, Idaho. Because again, I have documentation to prove it, and the local police and the people we pay to keep us safe, they don't seem to care. So, this is your host. My name is Daddy. This is my channel. We are learning how to law. And yeah, I will talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna put this video together, so I gotta piece together a few things. Comment if you have any comments or concerns, or if you want to know something, or you want me to touch up on something else. I don't know what my next video is going to be. I need to double check and see what I've put out so far, so keep an eye out. I will be putting more stuff out. I have a ton of videos that I need to release, so keep an eye out for that. If my attorney's out there watching, and let's say, oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to add, so if I get arrested for whatever reason, my attorney out there who's watching, I have at least 45 documents and videos on this phone right here, very specific to all of this. So if any of that goes missing, you have 45 separate instances where you can go ahead and file charges against the police or whoever confiscated my phone. And then I have a ton on this phone as well. My wife has some stuff on her phone, and I have stuff on the computer. So we probably have at least 100 different pieces of evidence between all of the devices. So that means if we get arrested because we have evidence and we're trying to display it, like in this next little clip that I'm about to show you right now, you know who to go after. It would be the City of Lewiston Police Office and the City of Lewiston Attorney's Office. And if they got anyone else involved, then you go after them too. But I will talk to you all later. Thank you. Have a good day. The video that is showing right now is not mine. Everything before is, but this is not mine. We're using the fair use doctrine, so that way you all can see that this is happening to other people, not just us, but to other people, and you need to be aware of your rights. So I will discuss this next clip further in detail in a future video. However, again, this is relevant because we live with the paranoia that because we are speaking out against people, they feel that they have the right to basically come and get us. Okay, so that's what this next clip is. Actual fear, very valid. This has happened to other people as proof. Here's the clip.
Do not This is what my daughter's room looked like after the armed burglary had occurred. Mind you, they had no proper paperwork. The entire warrant was based under false pretext, and their reasoning was a risk protection order violation, but I had never been shown or served a risk protection order of any sort. It's been weeks since I came back to my home and saw how they left my place. They ransacked it. I haven't been able to sit down and really clean up my daughter's room, especially because she's not here with me, and because it's just showcasing what they were here for. They destroyed my daughter's room and gave it extra special attention. Before all this happened, my daughter's room was spotless. We are very organized. We like to keep things very particular, and she does that of her own accord. When I came back, there was stuff stuck to the walls. Her entire dresser was messed up and shit thrown all over the place. They went through all of her papers and things that I had logged for her, and notice how there's just laundry everywhere. There was candy thrown all over the floors. There have been a ton of wipes just thrown all over the place for no reason, and they just generally flipped everything upside down. This in particular was inside her closet, and I think they just really needed to get into there so badly, but they just ransacked her bathroom, went through all of her shit in here too, and then inside the closet, they moved her furniture to come in here and step all over as a step stool, broke the shelving in here trying to get up into the ceiling. Why? Why were they going into the ceiling to search for weapons when they had already found the weapons as soon as they came into the apartment? I told them that they were going to be right in my room inside the closet. They went searching with this broad scope throughout the entire apartment and just fucking destroyed it. Kicking holes in the walls, ripping things out the ceiling, punching more.
Think about officers, man. When they search something, they just leave a complete mess after they're done and don't even care how they left it.
There was no rhyme or reason to any of this other than an intimidation tactic. Mind you, while they were inside my home, they also stole electronics from me. This was the most likely or second most likely time period where they would have stolen a bottle of Adderall from me that was prescribed to me. So